Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am going to be giving you a slew of picks to help you out here on Prize Picks. Going to show you some stuff on the website. Don't have a ton of time to edit this video, so it's going to be kind of raw, uncut, unfiltered content. All right, so let's just get after it. It's the beginning of the month on patreon.com/spar. It's a great time to sign up because you get the full month ahead. We hired a new capper, Finesse the Books. He has joined us. He's providing MLB and NBA game sides and total picks, putting out first half money lines, run lines, all sorts of stuff yesterday. It's been fun to watch him start. It started pretty well. We went 8-4 yesterday in NBA and MLB together, plus I think 2.12 units, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was a nice day. Great start to May. And I hopefully expect the rest of the month to go just as smoothly. Let's dive in, my friends. I mean, I don't really have time. Again, I am not going to have a chance to edit. So this is a tool I often do not even show people. It is not updated for the morning as I just sat down. Projections versus prize picks. So our tool on the mysparry.com website, if you're one of our members, you get access to this. It pulls all of the lines from prize picks and it pulls them in. And then when our projections are uploaded, it'll show our projections against the prize pick line. It shows what the edge is based on the line. So if we had Luca at 59 fantasy point projection, that would be a 7-point edge. It would show green, and this would be a number 7, and it would say over. It would tell you over. And then you could sort by the biggest edges or sort overs, sort unders. You can search by names. You could do just fantasy scores. And we are actually updating the MLB one over the next day or two so that it is identical, because currently we finally got the projection. This is our first year doing this for MLB, so we got the projections and stuff uploaded into the site. Now it's got its own projections page for prize picks. And then within a couple days, you'll also see all the prize picks pulling for MLB. So that'll be pretty nice. MLB projections are here. You can download them. You can copy them. You can CSV them, whatever the heck you want. You can search for players. You're looking for Adam Duvall, bang, you've got Adam Duvall's total bases projection, hits, walks, runs, RBIs, blah, blah, blah. You can do all this for NBA as well. Yesterday, if you wanted to know what we thought about Jordan Poole, you could search Poole. Well, look at that. We had Poole at 23.9 points. Well, his player prop yesterday, I believe, was like 18.5 points, something like that. So our model would have said take the over. Not too shabby. Would have absolutely smashed that yesterday. Had him at 3.5 3-pointers. My guy, I believe, made 5 yesterday. Crushed his PRA as well. I mean, we were all over Jordan Poole. And you can search that. You can sort it. We've got the game model for money line, totals, spreads, player props will also pop up when they're updated. It pulls from Odds Jam, as we are partnered from them. Here's the MLB, same thing. Here's May 2nd, 5:15. Andrew Benintendi's over 1.5 total bases. DraftKings has him at plus 125. FanDuel 125. Sparry projection has him at 1.37. So a slight edge over the under, a slight edge on the under here. But maybe you're looking for someone that has a more significant edge. Maybe Austin Riley here at 2.24 projected total bases at plus 135. Maybe you take that bet on FanDuel today because that is a significant edge. You're talking 0.74 higher than the 1.5 projected base. Okay. Anyways, you guys, and same thing. You could do all sorts of filtering and searching here using all of these cool tabs, whatever the heck you want to do. Pitching is here as well, strikeouts, things like that. You can have the total outs and whatever you want. It's all sortable. It's all searchable. I should have shown this off before. This is yesterday's games and the projection model. It's got a DraftKings FanDuel projection for totals, the Sparry projection for their team total, the game total all the way over here. Same thing for money lines based on whatever game you want. So you guys can do what you'd like there with it. And let's dive into prize picks. I thought that was important to talk about, as I never really show what we have on the site. So patreon.com/Sparry. Everything I just showed you is basically a bonus, because in Discord is where we post an NHL, MLB, PGA, and NBA during regular season data trending sheets. So it shows like last 10 game logs, their stats against the props, how often they hit the over and under, and all sorts of stuff. We have all those as cheat sheets. And then you then get the bonus picks, sports betting picks, and prize picks, and underdog fantasy picks. You get all of that inside Discord for patreon.com/Sparry. So grab that link down below and let's get after it. Here I have actually sorted 2 players I'm going to be targeting, and I'll be putting these at least one of any of the Chris Pauls in there and one of the Aitons in there for any of my cards today. And I'll probably just mix it up a little bit just so I am, spreading out my investment a little bit. Maybe Chris Paul scores 24 points and has 8 assists and gets over the PRA of 30.5, but he doesn't get over the 9.5 assists, so on and so forth. So CP3, now 45 times he's had a double-double this year. In those 45 times, 38 of them he had scored 10 plus points. I said that stat totally wrong because I'm looking at it. So 45 times this season, 45 times this season, Chris Paul has had 10 plus assists. 38 times in those games, he also had 10 plus points. So you have the option here where I didn't click it, but the double-double here, is an interesting option. One I don't often take. I'm not a big fan. I think you could probably just play these, but it does make kind of sense, right? Like if you think Chris Paul can get 9.5 assists today, sports bettors should probably be playing the double-double. And I tweeted it out. But on Prize Picks, if you select the double-double over Chris Paul, you are now investing into 2 different stats needing to be 10 plus points. Instead, fade this. I saw someone post this on Twitter and I wanted to bring it up. Fade this silly thing if you can simply just get one stat to have to get the over on. PRAs. Now, he has hit this in 5 of the 6 playoff games. When he gets a lot of minutes, my man's going to get this more often than not. He even did this last season in the playoffs. The number seems kind of high at 30.5, right? I mean, it's definitely not something he was hitting a ton. But once you start looking at Chris Paul, when he was playing a significant amount of minutes, as he should be in this series, now you're talking, 50, 60% of the time he's hitting the over here at 30.5. Just the more minutes he gets, the more times that he is absolutely crushing this line. So give me Chris Paul at 67% of the time over the last 2 playoff seasons, hitting the over when he plays 34 plus minutes. I don't see him not playing 34 plus minutes in a competitive game. If you think today is going to be a competitive game, then Chris Paul is going to play a ton of minutes. He played 34 plus minutes in 5 of the 6 games in that last playoff series. Only 1 game he had less. He had 33 minutes played. So however you want to slice it and dice it here, Chris Paul at 33 plus minutes is a fantastic play as well. 33 plus minutes over the last 2 playoff seasons at 30.5 PRA, still hit over 60% of the time. I like that a lot. Fantasy projection score. Chris Paul in playoffs, fantasy score in those same allotted minutes, hit the over around 68% of the time. Another fine option. So you can go with any of these. The beauty of this 40-point fantasy score as well is, he can rack up the steals and blocks. Like he can get those. There's in those same games that I had sorted out, he had 2+ steals and blocks in 65% of the games. So that was going back 2 seasons. And he has random games where he'll have 3, 4, 5 combined blocks and steals. And, 5 is an extra 15 fantasy points. Then you only need 25 fantasy points. He's going to get there between points, rebounds, and assists. So I don't mind that as well. I mean, these are all in play to me. I have them in order for how I would actually take them, though. I like the assists first. I like the PRA next. I'll take the fantasy last. Going down to DeAndre Ayton, over 10.5 rebounds. Ayton absolutely crushed Dallas in the rebounding department here. When we are looking at DeAndre Ayton for his rebounds against Dallas, we can go ahead and look at full season. And he played them twice, had 13 and 17 this season. But going back 2 seasons, he's had 13 plus in 4 to 5 games, 17 rebounds 4 different times. The only time he didn't hit this number of 13 plus, he had only played 24 minutes. Every other game, 29 plus. And by the way, in the playoffs, DeAndre Ayton plays so many more minutes. Last playoff season, he averaged 35 minutes per game last playoffs. And then this season, my friends, it was much of the same in the first series. He averaged exactly 35 minutes per game. And then when you look at DeAndre Ayton, now I'm not a big proponent of using like full season stats. I just don't like it. But when he played 34 plus minutes this season, 35 plus minutes, he had hit 5 out of 8 times. The only 2 times he did not hit in the postseason were against the Pelicans. So the 5 regular season games were all 13 plus. The one miss was against the Spurs. One time he had 9. So again, the only 2 times in the playoffs he has missed playing 35 plus minutes, it was against the freaking Pelicans. So weird, weird, weird. They have just had his number, I guess. So give me DeAndre Ayton over 10.5 rebounds. I absolutely love this prop today. I'll probably be posting in Discord for sports betting. PRA of 29.5. Listen, he is scoring like crazy as well. And when you're looking at that amount of minutes, his 35-minute per game playoff average, he's hit this 67% of the time, 12 out of 18 games over the last 2 seasons. He's just scoring at will right now. He really is. He's scoring so well this postseason. And at 29.5, you're actually getting an edge over the books. He just hit 5 of the last 6 games against the Pelicans. He's going to dominate Dallas. Dallas gives up a ton of points in the paint. DeAndre Ayton, the books have him at 31.5. This is probably out of the 5 here, my second favorite bet. I would take this first, but then this. I think that DeAndre Ayton is a great option today, and it's really hard for me not to love that line. So listen, you're getting a 2 PRA edge over sportsbooks. Now, Mitch, I can't play 2 players from the same team. What am I going to do here? That's up to you, my friends. But here's a couple things I want to talk about. Bam Adebayo. This is a guy here who should be averaging 18, 19 points per game on average, playing average amount of minutes. Now, he gets to play against Philly that will not have Joel Embiid. Now, the last time he played against Philly when they did not have Joel Embiid was on March 21st, and Adebayo went absolutely bonkers, scored 33 points in that game. Excuse me, 30, scored 22 points in that game, but had 33 points, rebounds, and assists. So I think you have a couple options there. I think you could go with Bam Adebayo here. You could go ahead and plug him in as the third option if you like it over 17.5. Sports books have him at 18.5 right now, so you're getting a point opportunity here. So I think that is a fine option if you want to go Bam here down low against Philly, who could struggle in this series. This could be a short one. And I think that Bam here has a good opportunity to absolutely smash in this series, especially if he's getting a full allotment of minutes. And, in the playoffs, Bam does get more minutes. And I think that, against Atlanta, we had some games where he played, 30, he played 30 or less in 3 of the 5. Well, guess what? Those games were not close games. In 2 competitive games, he played 35 and 41 minutes in those 2 games. So give me, if it is a competitive game tonight, give me 35 points out of Bam, and you are sitting pretty. You'll have a very, very good opportunity to get your points props there, over the course of this past season when he played 35 minutes, 65% of the time he had over 17.5. And at that PRA that I talked about at 29.5, he actually hit this 31.5, excuse me, 31.5. He hit the 78% of the time. So you go with what you want to do. I gave you a myriad of options today. Showed you all sorts of goodies there on the website, mysparry.com. And again, go ahead, sign up, patreon.com/Sparry. Get the website, get the picks, get the Discord private access, get the trend data sheets, and all sorts of things we offer. Get the picks from Finesse the Books, get the picks from me, and hopefully we help you win some money. All right, let's have a very good May. We're off to a very strong start, and I hope this video was helpful for you today. Unfiltered, uncut, one shot, no edits. I'm just letting it rip here on YouTube. If I'm looking back and forth at different screens or I'm doing something wrong on my screens, it is what it is. I got the full-time dad life with 6 kids at home, so I'm doing the best I can, my friends. I'm doing the best I can. Thank you for your support and allowing me to be a home house dad that allows me to do videos and provide content and picks while also fathering my kids and being here doing so. I left teaching a couple years ago. Last February, couldn't have done it without you. You made that possible. But that also means sometimes my videos aren't going to be super professional. I'm just here providing content for people. Good luck today. I'll talk to you later.